Successful Marriage UMA UKPA excerpts from the book. 1. Dating. The basic purpose of dating. 2. The beginning of marriage. 3. Communication in marriage. 4. Steps to better marriage. 5. 67 things every husband must know. 6. 67 things every wife must know. 1. Dating. The purpose of dating. The purpose of dating is to develop a oneness of spirit which when achieved can be a continuing third and fourth level of friendship or of engagement and marriage. Decisions and patterns set and made during dating have a far more serious effect on the success or failure of every marriage than most teenagers and adults realize. It is better for most parents and teenagers to reevaluate their dating standards as set by the parents and as desired by the teenagers. There is no specific age set for dating. When is a teenager old enough to date? 1. When he or she is aware of both the benefits and dangers involved in dating. 2. When he or she has personally worked out from the scriptures some set of God's dating standards. 3. When there is resolution not to lower these set principles, even if it means losing one's date. These basic considerations are essential to achieving successful dating patterns. There are enemies to successful dating and engagement. These enemies are pride, anger, slothfulness, selfishness, stubbornness, indecisiveness, fearfulness, and arrogance. The chief purpose of dating is to achieve spiritual oneness. In developing spiritual oneness in dating, the two partners must come closer. As they come closer to get as close as they can to God in their own personal lives, as each one develops his or her spiritual responsibilities and opportunities, a deepening fellowship exists and a greater ability to communicate with each other develops. The man is responsible for the spiritual leadership in dating, while the woman is responsible for being a spiritual example and a challenge to him. Spiritual oneness is destroyed when physical intimacy is developed before spiritual intimacy. When the purpose of dating is not to encourage and help the other partner in his or her spiritual development, but is rather on the level of physical involvement. A sense of guilt develops and a growing awareness that their desires are contrary to God's desires. Many fail to achieve meaningful friendship because they do not have a clear understanding of the levels of friendship that exist. The levels are acquaintance, casual friendship, close friendship and fellowship, intimate friendship and fellowship. Acquaintance, based on occasional contacts. There should be the freedom to design and ask general questions, exchange ideas and public opinions. Casual friendship. This is based on interests, activities and concerns. Also involves asking specific questions, share opinions, ideas, wishes and goals. Close friendship and fellowship. Here, there is the freedom to suggest mutual projects towards reaching life goals. There is visualization of achievement and encouragement in each other's life. Intimate friendship and fellowship. This is based on commitment to the development of each other's character. There is freedom to correct and encourage each other. There should also be open honesty with discretion. Discern basic causes of character's deficiency and suggest solutions. It is important to have the following questions at the back of our mind when viewing acquaintances as divine appointment. What are God's purpose in this person's life? What responsibilities and opportunities has God given to him or her? How far has he or she come, and what are his or her achievements? What has hindered God from blessing this man or woman? Is it bitterness, hatred, or moral impurity? How can I see or operate with God in molding this person's life? Can I visualize achievement for him or her and assist in removing the root problems from his or her life? What can I learn from him or her? Asking questions are to relationships what food is to the body. It is both practicable and advisable to design good questions ahead of time, which can be used when introduced to new people to assist one another in developing Christ-like character is one of the most important purposes of friendship. Guilt and blame over wrong standards in dating are carried over into marriage, and they become the source of many petty arguments. Resolve to maintain harmony in your home. A man tends to treat his wife as he treats his mother. A wife tends to treat her husband as she treats her father. The way each kept his or her room may be the way each keeps his or her house. Do not allow dangerous stress to be added to the marriage, because it will destroy the peace of the home. Impatience is a sign of self-love or immaturity, since love can always wait to give. Dating is actually a relationship with the third level of friendship, the one God brings into your life. If he or she knows you, will be happier and more effective. Chapter 2, the beginning of marriage. Marriage is the relationship whereby a man and a woman come to live intimately together by mutual consent and according to the law and custom of the society. Christian marriage is when marriage is contracted by Christians in the sovereign will and glory of God. Courtship is a period during which one tries to win the affection and love of one's future partner. This could also be called dating. Engagement is the ceremonial approval or sanction by both families of future life partners. Before marriage can take place, genuine love must be discerned. To achieve certain objectives in marriage, God's order must be followed. There must first be spiritual intimacy, then mental and emotional oneness, before physical intimacy. But Satan seeks to reverse this order by having teenagers begin their dating with physical involvement. This produces emotional involvement along with guilt, and spiritual development is therefore often put off until after marriage. This will lead to a relationship that does not give personal fulfillment and provide a solid, happy, and well-functioning unit. The fulfillment a husband or wife expects to receive from this intimate relationship may be greatly influenced by the reasons they had for wanting to be married. It is important to know, understand, and try to meet the needs of your mate. There is the need to talk about these needs, where they feed with you and what the Bible says about them. Man must assume independent responsibility for his wife. To have a good building, we do not only need to have the right foundation, but also we must use the right materials in building it. Marriage cannot be changed without the people in it being charged. Happiness in this institution is not so much in finding the right person, but in being the right person. God will surely prepare and bring to you your life partner, and you will be glad to accept God's choice. We do not have to go around searching for a future life partner, because doing so might lead us into the danger of lustful desires. Boys do not marry, only men do. Family life is one of mutual respect, mutual love, and mutual devotion in Christ Jesus. One should not desire marriage until he or she is prepared for it. The rite of engagement should be followed readily with the full rites of marriage. Delay brings unchristian tendencies, and it is one of the areas the enemy uses to tempt Christians. Also, a hasty or misguided marriage is not advisable for it. Does not bring in anything good. Chapter 3: Communication in Marriage. The heart of marital oneness is the communication system. The ability to communicate well is a fundamental skill essential to the growth of any marriage relationship. People communicate in various ways through words, action, silence, listening. We can communicate both verbally and non-verbally. With our eyes, nodding of the head, through touch and gesticulation. The five senses, which are sight, hearing, touch, smell, and taste, are seriously in communication between married partners. We communicate to express of ourselves, to inform or give voice to our feelings. Relating to one's mate takes place by communication. The different levels of communication include casual conversation as friends, sharing information, self-disclosure, sharing of feelings, attitude and emotions with partner, goal planning, expression of disagreement or argument, giving support and encouragement to the other, listening to a partner. We need to communicate on all these levels. Marriage is intended to be an intimate relationship built upon mutual understanding between husband and wife. Chapter 4: Steps to a Better Marriage. 25 Symptoms of a Dying Marriage. 1. An almost habitual unhappiness. 2. Sentiments of disillusionment, boredom, emptiness, and annoying habits. 3. Dissatisfaction. 4. Indifference to each other's problems. 5. Frequent or habitual coldness to each other. 6. No interest in the other's welfare. Lack of sensitivity. 7. Lack of sweetness and small courtesies. 8. Lack of tenderness. 9. Climate of insincerity and mutual distrust. 10. Feelings of being alone and not understood. 11. Lack of confidence in husband or wife, or more confidence in a third person than in husband or wife. 12. Lack of dialogue and intimate communication. No planning together. 13. Most communication mechanical, routine, and on the surface. 14. Frequent bad humor, tension, and nagging. 15. Mutual aggressiveness. 16. Frequent quarrels in the bedroom and in front of the children and anybody. 17. Ridiculing of each other. 18. Insults, rude words, and sarcasm. 19. Superficial life. Liquor, drugs, vices. 20. A life of selfishness and sin. 21. Low individual spiritual life. 22. Never able to think deeply and constant evasion. 23. Lack of enthusiasm, not appreciating all that spouse does. 24. Lack of or loss of the capacity of wonderment. 25. Lack of faith in love and matrimony. 10 steps to a better marriage. 1. Give up the idea of a perfect love without effort. Find out ways in which you can express your love to your partner. 2. Realize that true love also includes your will. It must be a real committed decision of your will, not just an emotional stuff. 3. Discover the unique needs of your partner and try to meet them. 4. Go the extra mile and return good for evil. 5. Complain very little and give more complimentary expression of praise and appreciation. 6. Abandon all hopes or thoughts of changing your married partner by criticizing him or her. Do not make your marriage a reformation crusade for your partner. You cannot try to force a change and still enjoy living together. 7. Commit your marriage and home to Jesus Christ in prayers together. If you are married to an unbeliever, then pray for that person daily. You will win that person by loving than you will by preaching, screaming and nagging. Let your character preach a sermon. 8. Remember that feelings follow action. If you change your speech and your actions, your feelings will catch up with those changes. There is power in our words. The words we speak have a governing power over us. 9. Honesty is the best policy in marriage. 10. A higher law than honesty is the law of love. There are times in the provision of God that it is better to keep quiet. You have to love a person before you can tell him or her what to do. 67 things every husband must know. 1. Most women say yes with their lips and no with their eyes. 2. Love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener. Love is blind, but neighbors are not. 3. You are a lover, a companion, provider, protector and fellow Christian to your wife. 4. Your wife expects you to take care of her, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. 5. God has appointed you her pastor and counselor. You must therefore be concerned about her spiritual welfare. 6. Do not allow your marriage to become dull and monotonous. 7. Your home is the most significant institution in your life, and it can be your greatest spiritual resource. Your home is both a human and a divine institution. 8. In marriage, life is meant to be shared and not lived alone. 9. Your home has a stabilizing influence on you. It can be your heaven of refuge and a source of personal strength. 10. Every successful marriage must be built on Christ and common sense. 11. Comfort and support are the mast. Meaningful treasures when they are built on understanding and mature action. 12. Your home gives you divine insight into the experience of other people. Therefore be of good cheer when you face trials in your home. 13. No woman wants to marry another woman. Therefore be a man of conviction, courage, boldness, and decision. 14. No woman wants to marry a man who holds himself aloof from everybody and is unfriendly to his wife's friends and relations. 15. Every woman wants a man who will make her happy, be that man by loving and caring for her. 16. No woman wants a man who is constantly suspicious of her movements. 17. Encourage your wife to rest and provide her with recreation. 18. Do not allow home responsibilities to consume her time more than necessary. 19. Make her queen of the house and your life, and you will become married to a queen. 20. Recognize her supreme value for her sake. 21. A perfect wife cannot be bought or tempted with the price of rubies or gold. 22. Before the wedding you talked and made powerful speeches, but after the wedding allow her to talk, or else your neighbors will listen to two of you talk. 23. Remember, marriage is a union of two people, the man blind to the beauty of other women and the woman being deaf to the command of other men. 24. Marriage means giving up all other women for the attention of one woman. 25. When children come, do not call her by the name of those children. 26. Allow Jesus to be your landlord and you his tenants. 27. Politicians and bridegrooms have one thing in common. They tend to forget their campaign promises after they're elected. Do not forget any promise you made to your wife. 28. Take care of your heart by taking care of what you read and hear, for out of it are the issues of life. 29. In marriage, small things matter. Take care of those things you think are small. 29. The big things in marriage are peace, happiness, tranquility, and not winning in arguments or quarrels. 31. Don't make your wife think she has to faults what she says and does. 32. Learn to tell good jokes, for it is good for your health. 33. Never retire for the night with anger in your heart. To remain angry and upset over hurts and grievances is exceedingly dangerous. 34. Know that nagging and criticism can destroy love. 35. Learn to overlook faults and hurts in one another. 36. Do not try to compel, reform, or control your spouse, for only God can change a person. 37. Always remember that a cheerful heart, a sense of humor. Patience and affection preserve the honey in your marriage. 38. Respect her rights and privacy. Let there be no checkpoints. 39. Keep the inexpressible joy of your marriage untainted, unmarred, and unshattered by learning to forgive. 40. Establish your own home, for God's rule is specific on this. 41. Continue your courtship in marriage. Successful marriage do not happen, they are developed. 42. Do not take your wife for granted, or else the monotony that will result will destroy your marriage. 43. Grow by expressing your love for her, or else you two will drift apart. 44. Relax, eat, shop, sightsee, and do things together. 45. Be kind and affectionate to your wife, and in honor, prefer her. 46. Give small courtesies and encouragement. 47. She will make you her king, if you can appreciate all that she says and does. 48. Be hardworking. Every woman loves a diligent man. 49. Determined to speak softly and kindly to her, for a soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. 50. Do not make decisions when you are angry or tired. Decisions made when angry, tired, or discouraged are not reliable. 51. Your wife is your nearest neighbor, and thou shalt love your neighbor as yourself. 52. Always think of the happiness she has brought into your family. 53. Be clean, modest, orderly, and beautiful. 54. In order to be the provider God created you to be, you must have divine favor, divine wisdom, divine knowledge and understanding. 55. You must have a vision for your family, without which there will be no discipline in it. 56. As a husband, it is your responsibility to cultivate in your wife the woman you want her to be. 57. A woman is the glory of the man. For your wife to radiate and shine, it is your responsibility. 58. Every husband is the coach of the wife, and coaches are patient people. 59. It is not what you say that matters, but how you say it. 60. Always find new ways of making your wife better. 61. Men are built to handle tough things. No matter how tough situations get, know that you have divine ability to handle them. 62. Never use your manliness against your wife or family. 63. You cannot love your wife without giving her gifts, as gifts bring out the child in a woman. 64. Every woman has an inherent incubator. She multiplies everything she receives. 65. Do not identify your position with possession. Let the potentials God has put in you be your identity. 66. A husband without any clear purpose and vision for his life will frustrate his wife. 67. God created your wife to function on love, and if you are not giving her love, she will malfunction. 67 things every wife must know. 1. Accept your husband the way he is. Learn to live without complaining, nagging, and threatening him. 2. Your criticism will only add to whatever problem you have. 3. An unbeliever can be won to Christ through the wife-chase behavior. 4. Preaching to your husband without looking at situations from his point of view may lead to a feeling of being threatened and rejected. 5. Another way to share Christ with your husband is by being an understanding wife. 6. By praising your husband's good traits and your response to his leadership will set the stage for God to draw him to himself. 7. It is important to know that God works through the husband for the benefit of the wife. 8. Do lovingly anything your husband asks you to do, though you are not interested. Recall the verse that says, "Wives, be subject, be submissive, and adapt yourself to your own husband." 9. Stop being critical of your husband's every action and learn to live with him without complaining. 10. Do not count it extravagant when he buys things in the house. 11. Shake yourself free from his responsibility. 12. Do not make decisions in your husband's absence. When people ask you to, tell them, "I am sorry, you will have to talk to my husband." And this will keep undue pressure off you. 13. Make your husband know that you can take care of anything he delegates to you. 14. Leave preaching to preachers and only share your opinion with him, leaving the final decision to him. 15. Obey your husband and do not allow emotions to rule your life. 16. Give him the responsibility of making rules and also discipline the children. 17. Learn to relax and enjoy the protection of your parents. 18. Remember your actions are of a far-reaching influence on your husband. 19. Know that when man's nature and desires are separated from Christ's purifying power, they are selfish and demanding. 20. You may have clear notions about how you look, act, dress, and blossom into a full sainthood. But remember, it pays more to be yourself and accept your man the way he is. 21. With the acceptance of your husband, as he has learned to give your expectations to the Lord. 22. Do not question your husband about his movements unless you need it as a business information. 23. Tell your husband you would wear anything he likes and two of you will start agreeing on what you enjoy. 24. The principle of letting your husband let both of you will help the family. 25. Do not set limits or conditions on what he does. 26. Every husband requires self-esteem. 27. God has provided the means and grace for you to submit to your husband. 28. Be your husband's helpmate by appreciating him and loving what he loves. 29. Care for your children's needs, take care of yourself and your appearance. 30. See your housekeeping responsibilities as a service to God. 31. You'll experience God by obeying his word and becoming spiritually sensitive. 32. Sex was designed by God for lawfully married people. 33. Regardless of the mask or the impressions we try to give others about ourselves, we are all alike on the inside. 34. Be open to yourself and to others. 35. It is possible to tear down your marriage word by word or brick by brick. 36. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hand. 37. When you are bored with your home, then your home is slowly and steadily being destroyed by your attitude. 38. When you are easily irritated and anxious over little things, then be ready to live a frustrated life because this will produce bitterness. 39. Do not develop antics over your husband. 40. Learn to accept your husband's apology. 41. Looking prettier does not entice a man to stay more at home. Your character is more important than your looks. 42. Learn to lean on Jesus. 43. Do not fake a happy marriage in front of your friends and relations. 44. Seek for solution to every problem and do not consider them too small. 45. Have a one-on-one fulfilling relationship with God. 46. There are days you feel discouraged because you are unappreciated. Go on your knees and pray. 47. God expects you to do those chores for his sake. 48. When bitterness, resentment, and jealousy set in, remember to pray that God may grant you the grace to represent him properly. 49. God takes over of our problems when we allow him. 50. Do not allow your priorities to get out of order. 51. Impatience, lack of trust to the warnings of God can bring sickness. 52. Remember that your relationship with your husband must have the same ingredients as your relationship with Christ. 53. Accepting your husband must not be conditional. 54. Marriage is a union of two forgivers. 55. Forgiveness is to give love when there is no reason to do so. 56. Every wife must seize the opportunity to give encouragement to her family, for encouragement is oxygen to the family. 57. To your husband's virtues, be appreciative. 58. It is not what your husband says that matters, but your opinion of what he says matters most. 59. The direction of your thought. Life will determine the course of your marriage. 60. Avoid argument, for it is the longest distance between 2 points. 61. Give your troubles to God, and he will be up all night for you. 62. Be your husband's help, not his competitor. 63. When your husband opens up to you, encourage him. 64. Do not stay away from your home every night of the week, attending prayer meetings, though you may think you are seeking the Lord's face, but you are surely giving place to the devil. 65. The greatest human unity is found between a man and his wife. 66. The real test of trust is to be able to share your secrets. 67. Every woman is called to explode her husband,